All right, this is our first page on perimeter, and it's pretty straightforward. All we have to remember is that the perimeter is the total length around the outside of an enclosed space or shape. So, to find the perimeter of this shape we have here, okay, all we have to do is add the lengths of all the sides. So we have 6 centimeters plus 2 centimeters plus 6 centimeters plus 2 centimeters. If we add all of those together, we get 16 centimeters. So the perimeter of this shape here is 16 centimeters. Okay? All right. So if we look down here onto the rest of the questions, they're pretty straightforward. But we have to remember for A, when we have a rectangle, and it doesn't give us the lengths of these sides, what do we know? Well, yes, you're right. We know that the opposite sides are the same. So if this is 6 centimeters, then this must be, okay? And if this is 1 centimeter, then this must be, all right? Same with squares. What's different from a rectangle is that in squares, all the sides are the same, right? So if this is 3 centimeters, this must be. And if this side is 3 centimeters, then this side must be, okay? So you figure that out. All right, the next page is still on perimeter, and we will be using dot paper, okay? So dot paper looks like this, and each of these dots, when connected, is 1 centimeter apart. Okay, so this one's quite simple. All you have to do is figure out all the lengths of each of these sides, okay, and then you add them together. Now, what's nice about dot paper is that we can count the sides. So we know that each of these is 1 centimeter, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sides, 12 centimeters. So we know that the perimeter of this shape here is 12 centimeters. Okay? All right, if we move down to number 4, it says, use a ruler to draw shapes with the following perimeters. Now it says you can experiment first with a geoboard and rubber bands, but we don't have those at home probably, so we're just going to have to, you could grab a piece of paper and try this on your own, but what you want to do is try to draw a rectangle with a perimeter of 12 centimeters. So it could be irregular, like all of these shapes up here, or it can be proper shapes like squares and rectangles and parallelograms, okay? Up to you, but you need to make the perimeter 12 centimeters, okay? And that's so the outside of the shape should equal up to 12 centimeters. Remember, each of these is 1 centimeters apart, okay? All right, same thing for B, but with a 20 centimeter perimeter. All right, okay, so the last sheet here on perimeter we have, okay, we need to use what we know about squares and rectangles to work out the perimeter of all of these shapes. All right, so what do we know about rectangles and squares? Okay, all of the sides are the same for a square, right? And only the opposite sides are the same length in a rectangle. So if this is 7 centimeters, this is. If this side is 2 centimeters, this must be. Okay, so you add all of these lengths together to find your perimeter. Okay, all right, now what about down here? Question number 2. We have all of these shapes. Now this is a square, so we know that all squares have all the same sides. That one's pretty easy to figure out. But what about when we have different shapes like these, like pentagons and hexagons? Well, these are polygons, okay? And that also means that all the sides are exactly the same. They are regular shapes. They have all of the same sides. So if this is 3 centimeters, this is also, so is that is 2, and this one as well. They are all 3 centimeters, okay? The same thing applies to this hexagon here. All of these sides should be the same, all right? So all you have to do is write down, just like in example A here, the repeated addition okay, equation, and then also, what if you multiplied it? So since these are all the same, it's basically like adding. So we see here the square, 4 sides times 4 centimeters, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, right? And each of these sides is 4 centimeters, right? So we have 4 groups of 4, right? 4 groups of 4. And we know that when we have groups, we can multiply them. So 4 times 4 equals 16 centimeters. Okay? All right, that's all. So if you have any questions, remember to email us and let us know, okay? And we'll help you out.